Trail Seeker Adventures heads to round 3 of the US Sprint Enduro at Dreamville MX in Raeford, North Carolina. On day 1 of racing, we had dry, dusty conditions, but the rain came on day 2, which really changed the track. Come along with us as we take you out on the cross test and the enduro test to show you what round 3 US Sprint Enduro was all about. That's right, we're at Dreamville MX in North Carolina. On day 1 it was dry and dusty, but overnight it rained. On day 2 we had some mud to contend with. Dreamville MX handled it with no problem. Make sure if you're in this area and you're looking for a place to ride, check out Dreamville's Facebook page for more information and then come check them out. Round 3, the US Sprint Enduro set up an awesome layout, and they started with the youth. They lined them up, got them ready to hit the track. The micro 50s hit the cross test, while the youth hit the enduro test. Let's check them out as they tear up the track. There was many battles throughout the weekend. They are racing against the clock, not against each other. You line up in your class row, and then every 15 seconds, a new rider will go out and tackle the track. The youth classes will hit the track 6 times each day, the same as the adults. 3 cross, 3 enduros. The US Sprint Enduro team adjusts the lap length for the 50s. The overall was won by Peyton. Jonathan was 2nd, and Austin was 3rd overall. Great job, guys. After the youth finish up their race day, it's time for the adults, and we start with the pros. Lane Michaels hits the track first. Johnny Gerard was the points leader, but he got hurt at the last round of the GNCC, hurt his hip, but Lane Michaels did not get away from GNCC unscathed. He's racing with a shoulder injury. Josh Toth is 2nd on the track. Right behind him is Liam Draper. Pro 2 is going to have their hands full with Cody Barnes. Michael is racing injured, but he's doing what he can to hold on. Unfortunately here, he went down and got passed for 2nd. In the pro ladies, Tyler Jones came out strong but couldn't hold off Corey Steed. Corey Steed won the overall for the weekend. Tyler Jones was 2nd, and Shelby Turner was 3rd on the box for the weekend. in the pro class, Josh Toth won the overall for the weekend. Lane Michael was able to hold off Liam Draper for second. Liam Draper was third on the box. Nobody could do anything in Pro 2 with Cody Barnes. He won not only the Pro 2 class, but he was second overall.
That's all fact, give me one shot and I'll never get it thrown back. I'm sick of being cautious, I'ma go cause something, can't stop this. I'ma steal everybody's name, call it shoplift. Sick of hearing everyone complain when they thoughtless.
On day one, it's dry and dusty after the rain on Saturday night and all day Sunday. It definitely changed up the track. Some loved it, some hated it. The only good thing about being injured and not able to get out on the track as much as I like to is being able to watch these pros tackle the track. After the race, they gathered up their bikes, got up to the podium, took their pictures, got their big checks, and went to their trucks and got out of their muddy gear. But it's not all about just the pros. We amateurs are out here to have fun as well. We lined up throughout the day, and now it's time for us to hit the track as well. And the 110 machine is injured with a sore knee. Well, it's a broke knee. I got my results back, but y'all don't want to watch me to go putting around the track, so I strapped the camera on Austin. Unfortunately, it's not the best scenario with the chest mount. It's bouncing around a little bit, but it's going to give you a good idea what round 3 of the US Sprint Enduro cross test was all about. The dirt here at Dreamville MX is mostly sand. Building the crew laid out an awesome cross test, but even a better enduro test. I did get out here with my crippled up knee, put down some laps. The main goal was to ride without putting my foot on the ground. Actually, I never even took my foot off the pegs. I did get the results back. Not that anybody cares, but it looks like I've got a complete tear of the ACL, a partial tear of the MCL. I've got a bruised bone, I got a fractured tib and fib, and meniscus tears on both sides. So looks like I'm probably going to have to get surgery on it, but it's not going to be until after July. I'm hoping it heals up a little bit so I can get back out here and rip a few of the last US Sprint Enduros. But until then, well, looks like Austin's on the ground, but until then, you're going to have to watch Austin. I do get out here on the Enduro test. I've been playing it safe and staying out on the cross test, but everybody was talking about how awesome the Enduro test was, so I had to go out and check it out for myself. I did get a little bit of video of that, and also, if you haven't seen yourself on the video yet, make sure you stay around to the end of the video. All the raw footage that I had got throughout the weekend, I added, well, most of it, and maybe you'll catch yourself out here ripping up the track. Since we are at a MX park, Billy was able to put in some of the safer jumps. We're coming out onto the Dreamville MX track. We obviously didn't get to try out all the jumps. Of course, I didn't jump any of the jumps. I don't think my foot came off the pegs or my butt didn't come off the seat pretty much all weekend. But from what I could watch other people out racing, looks like the Dreamville MX has a pretty safe moto track layout. The jumps are fun. doable and as safe as a MX track could be. In case this is the first time you've watched one of our videos, we are Trail Seeker Adventures. Our goal is to bring the camera out to all the race events, ride parks, trail rides, and we try to help you find a race course or a ride park that is suitable for you. That way you can check it out and know if it's a race event for you before you even load up the bike or get off the couch. So make sure you check us out at Trail Seeker Adventures on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Make sure you like and subscribe. I raced the 40A class. I've been lining up a little further back. I don't want to be up there with the A guys messing their race day up. But Austin is racing the 250 Open B class. He is doing awesome with the new race format. He's not raced the US Sprint Enduro or any Enduro. He's starting to come along. He won, I think, every test at round 3. He had a few screw ups, but he's learning fast. If you have not ran a US Sprint Enduro race before, make sure you come check them out at round 4. It's March the 19th to 20th. It's going to be in Greensboro, Georgia. Make sure you check out their Facebook. If you've not been on a bike for a while and you don't think you can race at cross country, or if you're like my wife, don't like racing with a bunch of other fast riders, the US Sprint Enduro is an awesome place to come out and dust off your bike. Every 15 seconds a new rider will hit the track. You line up in the chute in your class and they line you up as far as your speed in your class, so you're pretty much out there racing the clock. You don't have to worry about people running you over. The courses are normally about a 3.5 mile course, both on the cross test and enduro test. They're usually a little faster, a little flowier, not as technical as a normal enduro or a cross-country event. So make sure you check out their Facebook. Make sure you keep updated with their schedule and come out and check out round 4 or the rest of the rounds throughout the year. Just check out US Sprint Enduro on Facebook. Cross test here down south, one of the things that we don't have to contend with is elevation change, but one thing that I struggle with is sand. But every time I get out on a sand course, well, when I'm not injured, I seem to get a little better and figure it out. That's one good thing about being part of a national series. You get to check out all different types of terrain on the East Coast. Austin finished up his cross test, and now it's me out here on the enduro test. And the main reason I wanted to show my video is mostly because my goal is not to put my feet down, and ruts is usually what makes me dab my feet. And so I was out here on the enduro test cross rutting like a madman. You basically get out of the main race line, and you actually have to set it up turn by turn. You come to the inside of the main race rut, you'll roll to the opposite side of the rut, and the main goal is to stay out of the rough part of the track. As the weekend goes throughout, the track keeps getting rougher, and sometimes the main race line is not necessarily the fast line. Now, the only reason I'm really doing it is because my goal is to keep my foot on the pegs. I was able to race all 6 tests on Saturday, but it rained, and I only was able to get out on a cross test on day 2 since it was so muddy and slimy. But I really enjoyed the enduro test. Was sad that I wasn't going to be able to get up to speed, but I just wanted to show you a little bit about cross rutting. Now let's watch Austin get out here and rip up the course. His time might have been just a little faster than mine, but he's just lucky that I'm a little injured. But everybody was coming back that was around my pits and was saying how great of the time they were having out here on the enduro test. So I had to get out here and check it out, and I'm glad I did. If you've raced this event or any other US Sprint Enduro, make sure you leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about the series. I like racing cross country hare scrambles where you can actually see your competition, because I don't like going no faster than I have to. I'm not much of a sprinter, but it's definitely helped me appreciate how important every turn, every second, every mistake that you make out here. So even if you're a cross country kind of guy or a hare scramble, I believe this series will help you appreciate how important every second out here on the track. Sometimes on a 2-hour event you don't think about seconds, but there's been many times in this series where like 3, 4, 5 seconds had made a difference between first, second, third, and that's after a 2-day event. So even if you don't think you like a sprint enduro, you may want to come out here and check it out and just see how much it can help you, even if you're a GNCC racer or your local cross country event. Make sure you come out and check them out. For sure, make sure you leave a comment. I love reading all your comments, and I try to get back to every one of you, every one of the comments that somebody leaves. But they're down here south. Next one's going to be in Georgia, but they'll be working their way up the East Coast. I'm hoping my knee will be strong enough to be able to actually get up to speed for the last few rounds of the US Sprint Enduro. Of course, I thought my knee was up to speed on round 1, which I dabbed my foot one time and brought me all the way back. Actually, I think I tore it worse after that, but I got a brace. It's getting stronger every day, and I'm hoping to get out here and actually get up in my class and battle with them a little bit towards the end of the series. Most likely I'll probably screw something else up, but that's a part of racing. Both the cross test and the enduro test video that we're bringing to you today was on day 1. You all know how it is to try to videotape. Well, it's raining, and it pretty much rained the entire day Sunday. So even the video that I got standing still, I had issues keeping the video camera, or the video camera clean, off and not fogged up. But as you can see, on day 1 it was almost perfect conditions in the enduro test. Out on the cross test it was pretty dusty, but the wind was blowing pretty good, which kept the dust pretty much away from you. But on day 2 it started early in the morning and rained the entire day, which definitely changed this track up. This section through here, if you've seen the video with the pros, Lane Michael went down through here. I did get it on video, but I really you couldn't really see. It looked like maybe a root took him out, or maybe he hit a tree. But you don't see pros make mistakes very often. But whenever it's a muddy condition, you know, and they're pushing the limits anyway. I had a couple of the pros go down. One of them, I think, was the Pro 2 guy. It definitely changed up, even though it's the same track on day 1 and day 2. Day 2 is definitely a different track than day 1. And if you liked mud, you probably did better on day 2. If you didn't like mud, or you don't do well on mud, then most likely you probably didn't like day 2. Now, every once in a while, as you can see, Austin caught up with the class ahead of you. One thing you can do, if you're the class leader, you're able to wait a full minute before you take off. That way, when you catch the slower class ahead of you, or the slower riders in the class ahead of you. But typically, you have to give the person ahead of you 5 seconds, but no more than 15. Heidi was able to get out here. She runs the 40 plus women's class, and most of the time throughout the weekend she just keeps getting faster and faster. The rain came, she had a smile on her face.
You the woman.
Not sure why. When it gets rough, she loves coming out here. She finished first in her class. So good to get out here and watch her ride her bike.
Get stuck
This
anywhere?
is the reason we're out here,
All over?
because she absolutely
You're
loves
good,
this
baby.
series. And now, basically, all what I've got for the rest of the video is just raw video throughout the weekend that I got. I want to let you enjoy it. And make sure you check out round 4 at the US Sprint Enduro. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. Every time we're at a race event or a ride party, we've been to Hatfield and Coy's. We've been out west riding some of the most awesome trails out west. We've been to Prune Motorcycle Park. We've been to Switchback Indoor Arena in Butler, PA. But make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. That helps us out.
Looking good.
Meanwhile, enjoy the video. And hopefully you can find yourself out here ripping up the track. what an awesome weekend we had. Of course, we always have an awesome weekend out here at the US Sprint Enduro. Make sure you check us out on YouTube at Trail Seeker Adventures. We bring the camera out so you can see what the race event is all about. Make sure you like, subscribe. Go to YouTube, look up Trail Seeker Adventures, hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much. Or you can hit the subscribe button right here. Thanks for watching.